She was quite known for her feisty personality.
Feeling that we got when they came out with the baby, we couldn't miss it again. We couldn't miss this one.
Princess Charlotte, the daughter of Prince William and Princess Kate, is known for her cheerful smile and royal charm. But during a recent public appearance, in front of thousands of viewers, Princess Charlotte broke down and cried. It was unexpected, and it left everyone watching speechless. The atmosphere in the room shifted the moment Charlotte's face crumpled with emotion. It was as if time stood still, and for a few moments, the chatter and noise of the crowd faded into silence. But why did Princess Charlotte cry? What caused such an emotional moment? Join us as we uncover more. The moment that captured millions. The day started like any other significant royal event. Crowds lined the streets, waving Union Jack flags and eager to catch a glimpse of the royal family. Broadcasters set up their cameras, capturing every moment of the historic day. It was a time of both solemnity and celebration, as the royal family came together to honor a shared memory that held deep meaning for them and the entire nation. Princess Charlotte, dressed impeccably with a horseshoe brooch gifted by her great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. She stood beside her older brother, Prince George, and her parents, the Prince and Princess of Wales. At just 7 years old, she had already proven herself to be a composed and graceful young royal. But this day would be different. As the event went on, the camera caught a telling moment. Charlotte's demeanor shifted. Her calm expression gave way to one of deep emotion, and within seconds, tears began streaming down her cheeks. For a child who has always appeared poised in public, it was a moment of vulnerability that nobody saw coming. The world stopped for a moment. Cameras zoomed in on Princess Charlotte, and the entire audience held its breath. Her teary eyes, trembling lips, and soft sobs broke the royal silence and left everyone speechless. On a day when the royal family had gathered to commemorate a significant event, it was this small human moment that stole the spotlight. The tears of a young princess, someone born into one of the world's most famous families, brought the idea of royalty down to earth. It wasn't just about palaces, crowns, and rituals anymore. In that fleeting moment, Princess Charlotte showed us what it truly means to be human, even under the constant gaze of millions. But what made this moment so extraordinary? It wasn't simply because a child cried. It was because of the child's identity and the situation at hand. On live television, during an event steeped in tradition and dignity, Princess Charlotte's tears brought a raw, emotional element to what many might have expected to be a strictly formal occasion. The moment Princess Charlotte's tears were shown on live TV, the world was instantly drawn in. Social media exploded with reactions, turning a simple, emotional moment into a global conversation. People from different countries, ages, and backgrounds shared their opinions, experiences, and support for the young princess. But why did this moment strike such a chord with so many? What made it go viral? It was the sheer innocence and vulnerability of the scene. In a world where social media often shows only polished, perfect moments, Charlotte's tears were a complete contrast. People are used to seeing photos of her smiling and playing with her siblings, but seeing her express raw emotion on TV was different. It showed everyone that even young royals who live in a world full of rules and expectations are just like any other kid. They feel the same sadness, frustration, or tiredness. Growing up in the royal family may seem like a fairy tale, with castles, parties, and special events. But behind the glamorous facade lies a different reality. Princess Charlotte, as the only daughter of Prince William and Princess Catherine, has been in the public eye from a very young age. The weight of being a royal, with all the expectations, responsibilities, and pressures that come with it, can be overwhelming, even for a child. From the moment she was born, Princess Charlotte has been surrounded by cameras, media attention, and public scrutiny. Her life is lived under the watchful gaze of the world, where every move, smile, and gesture is analyzed. For most children, crying or having an emotional moment is a private experience shared only with loved ones. But for Charlotte, moments like this are often caught on camera and shared with millions of people around the world. In the past, members of the royal family were expected to maintain a certain level of composure and distance from the public. It was unthinkable for a royal to show emotions like sadness, frustration, or vulnerability in front of the cameras. But the times have changed, and the modern royal family has adapted to a world where transparency and relatability matter. This shift has allowed the public to see a more human side of their favorite royals. Charlotte's tears on live TV were a reminder that she's not just a young princess in a fairy tale. She's a little girl with emotions, just like any other child. What made this moment even more touching was its relatability. Princess Charlotte, despite her royal status, reacted in a way any child might. The pressure, the emotions, the significance of the event. It all seemed to overwhelm her. Watching her cry reminded viewers that no matter how grand or extraordinary someone's life may seem, emotions are universal. Charlotte wasn't just a princess that day. She was a little girl missing her great-grandmother. She was a child who felt the weight of family tradition and public expectation but couldn't hold back her feelings. For a brief moment, the barriers of royalty disappeared, and we saw Charlotte as a person, not a title. For many, Charlotte's tears proved that even in times of grandeur, it's the small human moments that leave the biggest impact. In a single tear, Charlotte managed to humanize a monarchy often viewed as distant. And that, more than anything, is why this moment captured millions. The behind-the-scenes story of Princess Charlotte's tears. To truly understand why Princess Charlotte's tears left everyone speechless, we need to look at the events that led up to that moment. This wasn't just a random outburst. It was as a cause of emotions stirred because of a significant family event. The event in question was a solemn occasion held at one of the royal family's most cherished venues. It was a day marked by memories, tributes, and a deep sense of reflection. The royal family had come together to honor the late Queen Elizabeth II, who had been a towering presence in both their lives and in the lives of the British people. This was not just any ceremony, it was one of deep historical and emotional significance. Queen Elizabeth II's funeral was a special and sad event. Music was played, and the choir sang as her coffin entered Westminster Abbey. The service started at 11 a.m., led by the Dean of Westminster. The service had songs that were important to the Queen, like as the Heart, and Who Shall Separate Us? The choir sang and the organ played. The service ended with the last post and a 2-minute silence, followed by God Save the King and a bagpipe song, Sleep, Dearie, Sleep. In London, a big procession with soldiers and the royal family moved the coffin to a hearse. It was watched by 1 million people. The hearse then went to Windsor, where another procession was held, watched by 97,000 people. The Queen's corgis and horse stood nearby. At St. George's Chapel in Windsor, 800 guests attended a short service. The crown, orb, and scepter were taken off the coffin. King Charles placed a special flag on it, and the Lord Chamberlain broke his wand as a sign of duty ending. The Queen was lowered into the royal vault, and the national anthem was sung. Later, in a private service, the Queen was buried in the King George VI Memorial Chapel with her parents and sister. The Queen's coffin was made from oak and lined with lead, and 8 people had to carry it because it was heavy. Princess Charlotte was no stranger to such events. She had been present at other public gatherings, showing her poise and grace as she carried out her royal duties. But on this day, the atmosphere was different. The sense of loss was palpable, as if the air itself held a collective sigh. It was a day filled with memories and heartfelt tributes, which could not help but impact even the youngest members of the royal family. It's no secret that Princess Charlotte had a special bond with her great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen had shown great affection for her young great-grandchildren and was often seen playing with them, teaching them the ways of royal life, and sharing warm, intimate moments. Charlotte, in particular, was seen as the most spirited and outgoing of the young royals. Her playful nature was met with the Queen's fondness and genuine smiles. In the months leading up to the event, Charlotte had been pictured at various engagements that reflected this close relationship, and her joyful expressions when she interacted with the Queen were well documented. For a child, the bond with a beloved great-grandparent can be one of life's most profound connections. So, when the event to honor Queen Elizabeth II arrived, it's possible that memories of those moments came flooding back for Charlotte. When the day of the event finally came, Charlotte was dressed in black morning coat with velour collar and matching wide-brimmed hat, while her brother, Prince George, wore a navy blue suit with a black tie. Her younger brother, Louis, did not attend the funeral, but behind the formalities, the weight of the occasion was heavy on the hearts of the entire royal family. For Charlotte, who was only 7, the solemn atmosphere and the magnitude of the moment were likely difficult to process. Children are remarkably perceptive, and even though she was young, Charlotte would have felt the shift in energy, the gravity of the occasion, and the loss that everyone was gathered to remember. While adults have experience and coping mechanisms, a child's emotional toolkit is still developing. The solemnity of the event might have triggered a wave of emotions she wasn't prepared for. As the ceremony continued, Charlotte stood beside her brother and parents, appearing composed. However, her face gradually began to change. At first, it was subtle, a small furrow of her brow, a shift in her posture. Then came the tears. For a few seconds, she fought to hold them back, but it was no use. The tears started to fall, and with them came an audible sob. It was in that moment that everyone in the audience and watching at home realized the raw human side of the young princess. For Charlotte, the tears may have represented not just sadness for the Queen, but a mixture of emotions. It was the overwhelming feeling of loss, the sudden surge of missing someone dear, and perhaps even the awareness of what it meant to be in the public eye as a royal child. There's no way of knowing for certain what thoughts went through her mind at that moment, but what is clear is that Charlotte was feeling something profound. As Charlotte's sobs were broadcast to the world, the collective reaction was a mixture of surprise, sympathy, and admiration. It wasn't the tears themselves that were surprising. Children cry all the time. But the fact that it happened on live TV during such an important event, and that it was Charlotte, the young princess, made it an unforgettable moment. How William and Kate handled the moment. In the immediate aftermath of Princess Charlotte's tearful display, one of the most intriguing aspects of the situation was how her parents, Prince William and Princess Kate, responded. As Charlotte's emotions were broadcast live, Princess Kate were seen leaning in close, their faces filled with concern and tenderness. Princess Kate, known for her calm and composed nature, gently patted Charlotte on the back. With a warm and reassuring smile, she whispered comforting words to her daughter, a simple gesture that spoke volumes about the bond they share. The world was watching, but the family acted as if they were in the comfort of their own home, showing that Charlotte's well-being came before royal protocol. It was a proof to their parenting style, which focuses on showing their children love and security, even in the most public of settings. Prince William and Princess Kate's parenting has often been the subject of admiration and analysis. The couple has made it clear that they want their children to grow up as normally as possible despite their royal status. Their response to Charlotte's distress was another example of this philosophy in action. Unlike past generations, where strict decorum and emotional restraint were emphasized, William and Kate have embraced a more balanced approach that allows their children to express themselves. In interviews, both have spoken about the importance of teaching their children that it's okay to feel emotions and to seek comfort from those they trust. This approach is part of their mission to ensure their children understand that their emotions don't define them, but rather, they're a natural part of life to be acknowledged and managed. The moment Charlotte cried was a powerful example of this teaching in action. While the cameras captured the moments of comfort and the public's heartfelt response, what happened behind the scenes? After the event, sources close to the royal family reported that Princess Charlotte was given all the comfort and reassurance she needed. Earlier, her dad, Prince William, joined a procession to Hyde Park. So, he wasn't there when the little princess teared up. As soon as the cameras stopped rolling, he was back. Prince William was seen leaning down to speak softly to Charlotte, his voice calm and reassuring. It was a private moment that was not broadcasted, but those present noted how caring and supportive he was, ensuring his daughter felt safe and comforted. Princess Catherine, known for her nurturing nature, was also reported to have reassured Charlotte and provided physical comfort, like holding her hand and gently touching her shoulder. Being a mother of 3, Kate understands firsthand the emotional ups and downs that children face. Observers noted that her calm and loving presence likely played a big role in helping Charlotte feel more at ease. The royal couple's attention to Charlotte's well-being showed the world that even the most public figures have a strong sense of family and compassion. Despite these challenges, it's clear that Charlotte is surrounded by a loving and supportive family. Prince William and Princess Catherine have made a point to show that family comes first, and they prioritize their children's happiness and well-being above everything else. When Charlotte cried, it was clear that Prince William and Princess Catherine were there for her, comforting her and making sure she felt safe. This is one of the many ways they show their children that it's okay to be vulnerable, that they are loved no matter what, and that their emotions are valid. For Princess Charlotte, growing up in the royal spotlight will continue to come with challenges. But it's moments like this, when she shows her true feelings, that show everyone of the importance of empathy, love, and compassion. The world may watch and speculate, but at the end of the day, she's still just a young girl with a family that cares for her deeply. What does this mean for the future of the royal family? It's a sign that times are changing, and the public is more accepting of the human side of royals. It means that as Charlotte grows up, she'll be able to navigate her life with the knowledge that she doesn't have to hide her emotions or put up a facade to be loved. And perhaps, as she continues to grow, she'll inspire others to do the same, to embrace their own vulnerabilities and to understand that strength is not just about composure, but also about being true to who you are. Following the broadcast, the royal family's official social media channels shared photos of happier moments with Princess Charlotte. showing her smiling and playing with her siblings. These photos were intended to reassure the public that Charlotte was doing well and that she was surrounded by love. It was a thoughtful way to bring closure to the moment and remind everyone that despite what had happened, Charlotte was just fine. In the days after, the royal family continued their commitments, with Princess Charlotte appearing in public looking happy and energetic. The public's reaction showed that people were more interested in seeing her as a real, relatable child, rather than an untouchable figure. The situation revealed that when a public figure shows vulnerability, it can make them more relatable and human. For the royal family, the handling of Charlotte's moment was a testament to their awareness of this delicate balance. This incident also strengthened the royal family's bond with the public. By showing their humanity and compassion, they reinforced that the royal family is not just a distant, regal institution, but a real family facing the same ups and downs as any other. It was a moment that reminded everyone that love, support, and understanding go a long way, regardless of your status. The public's response to the royal family's handling of the situation was overwhelmingly positive. It was proof that showing genuine care and empathy is what truly connects people. Princess Charlotte's tears may have caught everyone by surprise, but it was the way her family responded that left a lasting impression and continued the conversation about the new, more open image of the royal family. The public reaction to Princess Charlotte's tears. Many royal insiders have shared that after the event concluded, William and Kate took Charlotte aside, ensuring that she felt safe and loved. Reports suggest that Kate was seen gently touching Charlotte's cheek and speaking softly to her as they walked to the car, assuring her that everything would be okay. This scene may not have been visible to the public, but it was a moment that echoed the couple's commitment to shielding their children from the stress and pressures of public life. By prioritizing Charlotte's well-being, they sent a message that even in the glare of media attention, their role as parents took precedence over royal expectations. As news outlets reported on Charlotte's emotional moment, the way William and Kate responded became a major point for discussions. Analysts praised the couple for their empathy and emotional intelligence, noting that their handling of the situation reflected a modern, relatable approach to parenting. In a world where the royals are often perceived as out of touch with the public, this moment allowed people to see them in a new light. Many parents took to social media to share their admiration for the way Kate and William acted. Parent went on to comment that this was what parenting should look like, being there for your child when they need you most. They said William and Kate are showing us what it means to be good parents, royal status or not, and Charlotte's tears just made the royal family more human than ever before. They weren't just seen as public figures, they were viewed as loving parents. For a public that often debates the relevance of the monarchy in the modern world, this moment showed why the royal family still matters, because they represent values that resonate with people. It's easy to assume that public figures like the royal family are often removed from the realities that ordinary people face. But Princess Charlotte's show of emotion and the way her parents responded created a bridge of understanding. It showed that even those who appear perfect in the spotlight have moments of vulnerability and emotional need. In times of emotional distress, people often look for validation, and Charlotte's display brought that to a broader audience. It was a clear, powerful message that the royal family, too, experiences the highs and lows of life. And in that moment, it wasn't just about Charlotte. It was about all of us. It was a shared human experience, and it drew the world in to see that despite being part of a global institution, Charlotte was still a young child needing comfort and reassurance. The public's reaction showed that they're ready to embrace a new kind of royal, a one who's relatable, honest, and, above all, human. For Prince William and Princess Kate, the response is likely reinforcing their belief in the kind of upbringing they've chosen for their children. With this event, the world was reminded that the royal family isn't just a relic of history, but a living, evolving institution that, just like the rest of us, is trying to go through life as best as it can. What do you think about Charlotte's emotional outburst? Let us know in the comment section. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. Remember to like, share it, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.